everyone. This is going to be a quick little daily stretch that will help promote mobility and stretch through our legs. Particularly, I'm putting this together for those of you who are joining me on the St. Jude walk coming up in a couple weeks. I'm going to help us get ready for that walk by strengthening our ankles, stretching our ankles, quads, hamstrings, and our general overall body. So, quick routine you can do in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, once or twice a day, whatever works for you. We don't need really any equipment except, as you can see, I'm not in the gym. I'm going to be using either a chair or a table for a little bit of an assistance in our stretch or balance if we need. So of course, as we begin most of our workouts, let's do a quick stretch and breath in, deep breath in, and exhale out. Good. Taking a deep breath in. Sorry about the change in lighting. When I move, it's doing that. Good. One more. Deep breath in and out. Fantastic. All right. The first thing we're going to do is not necessarily a stretch. It's more of a stability, a strengthening move. It's going to mimic walking. We're going to strengthen our glute and hip as we step forward and back as if we were walking. So I'm going to take my right leg back in a staggered stance. We're going to want to pay attention to our heel. Let's try to practice not letting that heel turn in. We want to try to place it directly back as much as possible. We're going to contract standing thigh and glute. We're going to have opposing arms from this thigh, this arm, and we'll just step forward and step back, trying to strike with that straight heel. Let me give you an idea of about the distance that you want to go. So you don't want to be too close, but you don't want to be way back either. It's about, I don't know, everybody's leg length is different, but probably about 3 or 4 feet apart, foot distance apart. So let's stabilize. Check your back heel, shoulders back and down. Opposite arm as if you were walking. That's what it's supposed to feel like. Squeeze thigh and glute, and we're going to step forward and back 10 times. So 1 and back. Stop, hold, and squeeze. Stop, hold, and squeeze. I strike ball of the foot to heel, purposefully placing that foot down, trying to keep that leg straight or that foot straight, and trying to squeeze that stabilizing leg. Going forward and back, abs are in. Of course, the trunk is nice and steady. Let's hit 4 more here. 4 and back. Trying to make sure both feet are evenly planted and straight. 3, squeezing the thigh and butt. 2 more, forward and back. Try not to fall like that. Forward and back and hold. Going to the other side. We'll begin that by taking our leg back, finding a good stable stance. Check that heel. Try to keep it straight. Shoulders roll down and back. Squeeze the butt, squeeze the thigh. Opposite hands, and we'll go forward and back. Now it's this standing, stabilizing leg that we're trying to keep a contraction in the thigh and glute the whole time. Going forward and back. I know this seems like a simple little move, but really if you're doing proper placement, it's going to help develop strength and stability in the hips, in the glutes, in the legs, in the manner that we want to walk, so that we're not rotating out, rotating in, trying to stay stable. Good. Let's go for 4 more. 4 and back. And 3 and back. You may notice it also helps with balance. 2 and back. 1 more. Or I should say maybe challenges balance and hold. Excellent. So that also will warm up the muscles a little bit before we start doing a little more intense warm up and then stretch. We're going to transition from there to our calves. Now you can either put your hands down on a table or on a chair. I'm going to stand tall. Legs are about hip distance apart. Thinking about the calves, I'm going to raise my heels up, squeeze, and press down. Again, Up, squeeze, hold, and down. And you really want to try to get those heels way off the floor and down. If all you can go is a little, that's okay, but our goal is to come as high as we can, contract that muscle, and then push it down. We're using the muscle to pull the heels up and then push the heels down. Standing tall, abs tight. Good. We're going to do 15 total, so how about if we go 10 and down, and 9 and down, and 8 and down. Squeeze the muscle down. It may get a little fatiguing, but this is important to help build ankle stability as well as strengthen those calves. Also helps with our foot, or our feet I should say. You need strong limbs above to help the foot stay steady. Good. How about one more? Up and down. Now those calves might be a little tight right now. We're going to transition to a calf stretch. Again, you can keep your hands on your chair or you can go to a table. You're going to stagger your stance. Back heel is straight. Again, we want to watch that turn in. And you're going to lean forward, pushing that heel to the ground, lead knee is bent, and hold. You really want to consciously drive that back heel into the floor. You can be leaning against a chair. No, my elbows are bent. You could be pushing against a table, a wall. Stretch and hold. Feel that calf. We want to hold this for about 30 seconds. Squeeze and hold. If you have a puppy at the house who wants to eat your shoelaces, he'll be happy because you're not moving your foot around and he can get to it. Let's slowly shift up. We're going to step together and we'll go back with the other side. Strike to make sure that heel is straight. Don't let it turn in. Drive the heel down and then lean forward. You want to make sure this knee is bent, this leg is straight, that heel is pressing into the floor, and you're just stabilizing on the surface that you're using. If you don't have anything, you can put your hand on your thigh, but holding on to something allows you to be a little more passive in the upper body while really driving that heel to the floor. So stretch and hold. The majority of this stretch should be in that calf. Everything else is just sort of stabilizing for us. Hold, stretch, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up, step together. I'm going to go back to the other side and we're going to stretch the front of the leg now, the quad, the hip flexor. We're going to do a standing quad stretch. We're not going to be holding on. We're going to go to that gate again. Not too far, not too close. Shoulders roll down. Lead knee is bent. Take those hips, press them forward. Now I'm not arching way back. Woo, don't fall. I'm not arching way back. I'm just stabilizing, lifting, pressing, and then just straightening up through the chest. And you're going to feel that stretch in the front of the hip and the quad. And again, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. If you're not feeling it enough, keep holding. You may be too close. If you're too far back, you may have to hyperextend to get there. So you want something you can just stabilize, lift, press, hold, squeezing this glute to activate a deeper stretch. Hang out and hold for 4, 3, someone's going to be unhappy, 2, and 1. Step together. We'll go to the other side. Stagger your stance. Make sure the foot is straight. Abs are in. Hips are both forward, as are the chest and shoulders. Lift up. Press the hips forward. Contract that glute. Lift through the chest. You can lean back a little, but it's not an arch, and it's pressing that lead hip forward. So we're getting a quad and hip flexor stretch on this side. If your calves are very tight, you may be feeling a little stretch right here as well there, but our main objective is that front of the thigh, that quad, that hip. Excellent. Step together. All right, we're almost there. We have the calf We did the front of the thigh. Now I want to do the hip and the IT band. You may use your chair for balance if you need. I'm going to stand parallel to a chair, a table, a wall, or nothing if you have really good balance. You're going to take your outside leg, the one you're not stabilizing with, and step behind. So the legs are together, standing tall. You're going to raise one arm up, sway over, and kick that hip out to the side. So you're going to feel this stretch, hold there, coming down through the trunk and out through this hip. That's our goal. Now, if going overhead is not good for your shoulder, you can simply reach, put your hand on your other shoulder, reach across and kick out. I want your primary stretch to be in that hip and that glute. If going overhead distracts you from that, again, you can keep your arm right here. Stretch and hold. Abs are in, body is straight and strong. Lengthen. These are a little tight. They should get easier if you do them a little bit every day, as with the others as well. I may not have any shoelaces by the time we're done with this. Come center, and we're going to switch to the other side. You can either turn around and put your hand on your other, on your stability if you need. That legs together, arm up as an option or across. We're going to reach up and over and kick that hip out. So if you don't have excellent balance, I would rather have you hold on to something as you kick out because you can go a little farther on your stretch. And again, remember, you can reach up, you can come across. Our goal here is stretching the side and the hip, the IT band a little bit. Breathe. Excellent. Trying to relax into the stretch. And as we're holding here, you're going to reach up even more. Now, if 30 seconds is too long for you, you're welcome to take a quick rest and then go back into it. You're going to do what works for you. This is your stretch. This is your time to get ready, to have the body ready to do its movement. And let's come back center. All right, so we've done the calf, the quad, the hip. Now we just have to do our hamstring, back of the thigh. I'm going to use the chair or a table on this one. I'm going to put my hands on the table or chair and then just let my body drop forward. Ideally, the longer you keep the arms, the better stretch you'll get because you're also going to be getting it through the back. You want to keep your knees straight on this one because we have support. We can put weight on the joint. And if you bend the knees, you lose that hamstring stretch. Straightening the knees, dropping the body forward. Feeling that stretch. Now, I'm going to give you some options. If you're here and you're happy, stay here. If you don't have something to hold on to, of course, you can go to your thighs. If you are very flexible and this is not enough for you, certainly you can go to your thighs, your shins, to the floor, but either way, you're keeping those legs straight. Now, you're still stretching because you need 30 seconds. When we come out of this, we bend the knees and come up. I'm going to give you one other option. You can either stay where you're at or come and join me. What you're going to do is take one leg forward, flex the foot, and shift the hips back, and then go into the stretch. Again, keeping that knee locked, stretching that hamstring, providing support. Stretch and hold. This one, you're doing one leg at a time, so you'll have to stretch a little longer, but it does feel good, and you're also getting a little calf stretch depending how much you flex your foot. And then come up slowly, and of course you have to go to the other side if you're doing those. Knees soft, hips back, lean forward. One other caveat, if you're doing this, note that my back is straight. It's not great if you're rounding forward. Two reasons. One, you're not really going to even get a quad stretch. Excuse me. You're not going to get a hamstring stretch at all. What you're going to end up getting is tension in your back and no stretch through the hamstring. So hold, nice flat back, nice straight knee. Come on up and give me a little march. So that's it. If you do 10 minutes a day of that, it's going to help with your walk, with your run, with your regular workouts. So front of the thigh, back of the thigh, hips, calves, stability, balance. Let's take a deep, refreshing breath before we move on. And exhale. All right, thanks for watching. Bear says thank you. So do I. All right, let me know if you have any questions.